There is something that's deficient in your current life, so more power to you that you're actually aware of it to some degree, whether it's consciously or subconsciously, and I hope that you're actually willing to take action. Let's go on a small journey of exploration, and you get to choose from 3 powerful exercises in constructing your future vision. The purpose of this video is to make you find your true North Star. It's about the big picture, because once you have that clear, guys, then you can focus on becoming more productive, changing your environment, scheduling your day and all the other great productivity stuff. But you truly need to know where you are going in order to utilize those things to the utmost. So the question is, what is your perfect vision and where do you have to start? If you're high in openness or a creative type, this will be the exercise for you. For those who aren't, I got your back, just keep watching. One of the best places to start, and my VIP Patreon members have done this as well, is what I call the Cosmo and Wanda exercise. For those who don't know who Cosmo and Wanda are, they are the fairy godparents of Timmy Turner and they grant wishes. I know, stay with me. Imagine 2 fairies are standing in front of you right now and they ask you, you have 1 wish and we'll fulfill it just like that. With the snap of a finger, everything you ever wanted is here. What is your wish? Remember, you only get 1 wish, no asking for more wishes, etc. Now if you're smart, you will take a minute or few to think about this, to write down the most complete answer you are able to in this moment. So what is your wish? What would constitute the perfect life for you if you had to answer that right now? How would the perfect week look like? Be ultra specific. Don't just say I want a big house, for example, but write down how it looks, how many bedrooms, how does the living room and washroom look like, what kind of texture does the ground have, what noises do you hear when you're in that house. Same goes for the non-monetary goals. What kind of person would you want to become? What skills do you want to acquire? How do you want to look like? How do you want to speak? What impact do you want to have on this world? What kind of job do you want to have? How do you want to spend your time in the future? Which struggles would you like to overcome on a day-to-day basis? Same goes for your relationship and financial goals. For example, I don't want to chase as much money my entire life. That's a sure road to misery. I'll talk about that in another video. Personally, I set the threshold from which I'll take it slower at 40 millions in assets, 250k in free spending money, and a monthly profit, not income, but profit of 50k. Again, be very specific, guys. Is it euros? Is it dollars? The same specificity you need to have for all other aspects of your life. By answering these questions, you shape what your perfect vision of your life looks like. I love to do this and explore that vision that I created in my mind early in the mornings in my visualization. I get a taste of it every single day. You do that long enough, and when you move closer to that goal, positive emotions accompany that. It's like setting your coordinates on a GPS and you experience positive emotion when you move closer and closer to it. You get the point now, guys. Another powerful technique, especially for people who are still unsure what they wish to do in the future, is the inversion, also known as the Duality Technique. This is a slightly darker way to set your vision. However, the most dark yet most liberating exercise of this video is the last one, which we'll get into in a couple of minutes. This exercise is for those who just don't know. You get that a lot. I don't know where I want to be. There are so many things I can choose. Okay, that's exactly where the problem lies, guys. First of all, with these exercises, you contemplate the best possible future with the knowledge that you have right now. This might change in the future, but at least you set your eyes at something. You have an aim, a purpose for your movement through space and time. This exercise is called the inversion or duality exercise. But why? Lao Tzu has written something beautiful. In the Tao Te Ching, he mentioned that we experience beauty because of ugliness. We experience good as good only because there is evil. Similarly, existence and non-existence give rise to one another. Difficult and easy, long and short, high and low, before and after, the music and the silence all cannot exist without the other. There are 2 sides of the same coin, meaning, as Alan Watts put it, that duality is always secretly unity. That's a concept on which this exercise is based. So how do you do this exercise? Answer this. What would the absolute shittiest condition for your job be? Deliberate on that thoroughly. The 3 most common answers I've heard are 1. Working outside in the cold. 2. Having irregular work times. And 3. Working in a stinky place. Now here's where the inversion comes. You take the opposites of those answers and that gets you closer, meaning for 1. Working inside with a decent temperature. 2. Have regular work times. 3. Work in a hygienic environment. Now you might think, but I still don't know what my future vision is. Correct, what you will answer from here on out, just to start are, what kind of person would I be if I was the worst of the worst? What action would I take? How would I look like? Really dive into this, guys, and come up with your own questions as well. Second, what are the shittiest values someone can adopt? Third, what would be a horrible life look like for me? By answering questions like these and then inversing it, you keep narrowing it down until you have a list through which you can filter the jobs, the life, the experiences for yourself. Keep making more and more questions so you can get clearer and clearer. Don't behave as if you're destined to live forever. What's fated hangs over you as long as you live, and while you can, become good now. Marcus Aurelius. This may seem weird at first. Shyam. I want to live more fully. I want a purpose. Why the hell would I even think about death? I got this exercise from the Stoics and it has been mentioned in a couple of books I read. It never really hit me that hard until I faced death twice, and the second time was the most harshest of them. I've shared the full story in my productivity planner, which by the way is back in stock, so order yours before it gets sold out again. That event was a huge catalyst for my personal flourishing and one of the reasons why I started this YouTube channel. One of the things I love about Stoic philosophy is the idea called Memento Mori, meaning remember you are mortal. Many people are scared of death. Understandably so, it is an unknown, unexplored territory, but one thing is a given, and that is that death will someday visit us. Unlike what many people think, death doesn't make life pointless. In fact, by exploring it as much as you can, it creates and fuels your life. It adds urgency to our being. Imagine that death wouldn't exist. You could procrastinate as much as possible and there would be no problem. Imagine there were no deadlines for a test or a work project. Not much would get done. The same is true for life. Death adds a spice of urgency to our existence. We all have a limited number of days on this planet. And if it suits you, here's how you can look at that. Every end is a new beginning. The death of your school years was the beginning of your college years. The death of your college period was the beginning of your work life. The death of your single years was the beginning or birth of your relationship. Every death accompanies a new life. That way of looking might not be correct, but it is a good lens to look through life. The same way I cherish having gone through multiple ego deaths, because those deaths were the birth of a new me. Death creates priority and gives you a new perspective. It shows you what truly matters and that which doesn't. Having said all of that, let's do the third exercise together. Guys, very important, there will be no video, just audio for this exercise, so close your eyes and take a deep breath in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. Keep doing this during the exercise and imagine you are sitting in the passenger seat of your car, silently. Your wife is driving and she is visibly distressed and emotional. You see her weeping and she wipes off her tears. No words are being uttered, and after a solid 20 minutes of sitting in that silence and you, who is occasionally looking at her, but she isn't looking back, the car gets parked. As you step out, the noise of the pouring rain muffles all the sound around you. You look at this huge church-like building, and upon entering, you notice everyone on your left is wearing black clothes, some weeping, and the majority looking to the ground. There is a very dark and gloomy vibe. You look to the right and see women wearing dark veils. You and your wife walk slowly towards the middle of the room where there is a casket. As you approach it, your wife starts breaking down and crying so loudly everyone hears it. You move closer and peek your head over the casket and you suddenly jerk back. What you just saw was yourself laying dead. As you look to your wife and try to talk to her, you notice she can't see nor hear you. You are gone. No way to communicate with the outside world. Here it is critical. Keep your eyes closed for a few more seconds. What happens next is your loved ones, one by one after the other, gets to a microphone stand and they describe who you were. What would you love them to say about you? How would you love them to describe you? Did you have kids? If so, what would you love them to tell the world about what kind of person you were? Let me turn on the video again. Guys, do that exercise, pause the video sometime and answer those questions and write it down. And that is the death exercise. Contemplate on your own mortality and reverse engineer the outcome of those answers. That way you get to hear yourself answering those questions detached from your daily struggles of your life that you're experiencing right now. You get to view yourself in a completely different manner. Ego, power and appearances have little to offer in the face of death. It is the love you got for your close relatives, the impact you leave behind for the next generations to follow. Being a good and responsible human being who has flourished not only himself, but everything he touched in this world. That is what matters, guys. What do you stand for? What are your principles? Who do you want to become? Do you want to learn tricks to deceive people and mess with the structure and fabric of reality? Or do you want to live a life of truth, honor, and character, carrying out your responsibilities and pushing your weight, moving towards a better future for generations to follow? It is your life, your choices, but make sure that in your last dying breath, guys, you want to be able to smile and know that you left the world better than you found it. Work towards becoming that version of yourself. Focus on what you can control and let go of that which you can't. Focus on living instead of merely existing. Friends, those were the 3 exercises to create the perfect vision for your life. Another great thing I'd like to add is this. When choosing an occupation, dive into the life of someone living out that occupation. See how they live in more detail and decide whether you'd enjoy that or not. If you want to become a better writer, for example, look up what the process of writing is. Look up how authors write their books, what kind of time investment they make, what their struggles are and how they organize their day. Or if you want to become, let's say, a YouTuber, look at how they live, what their struggles are, and see if that's something you'd like. No matter the occupation, do that. In essence, look past the superficialities, look into it with more detail. So, to recap the 3 exercises. First, Cosmo and Wanda exercise. Second, the inversion exercise. And third, contemplate your death exercise. Be sure to check out this video. Also, this video for more effective goal setting. Friends, unleash the power of your phoenix. Booming success is here.